We're at the corner of 9th Avenue and 4th Street. Behind me on my left side is the 4th Street underpass. As you can see, they've been busy pumping over the last few days to get the water out. They're almost there. We had a lift station actually in there that's down. We're looking to get that replaced as fast as we can. And I know, talking to the folks in the city, this is a critical artery and they want to get it open as fast as they can, but it's coming. Slowly but surely it's coming. Where I'm standing right now is the hole for the new National Music Center. They've been pumping away. They got this actually dry on the weekend. There's a whole group of guys off to my right. They're busy getting this site going, and it's not too far off until they can start building again. We're standing right now on the corner of 6th Street and 8th Avenue. You can see over my left side is the edges. The edges actually wasn't really touched by the flood. A lot of the water that came into East Village was from the elbow, working its way through the Earlton Tunnel. This area in itself, as I said, it's pretty well the same way it was this time last week. The fencing that you see up here is actually not here for the flood. It's to protect the grass. We want to get that grass growing as fast as we can, and it'll be up until just after Stampede. Just over my right-hand side here, this is, we call it Phase 10, but it's really 7th Avenue. This is our last phase in East Village to bring land really up out of the floodway, flood-proof, if you will. We're very fortunate that we were as far along here, so we didn't have a large low point that water to collect. We got some water. Obviously, everyone's seen it from the over the television cameras. But what they're doing right now is they're just washing away some of that silt, and then that's going to allow us, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, to start construction up again. To talk a little bit about what you're looking at, you have the island. Obviously, we were looking at doing some significant improvements this year. We're going to be set back a little, but we hadn't started those improvements, so that's good. Over my left shoulder, you can also see the bridge. The bridge was well on its way to be constructed. End of November we had for opening. Looking at today, obviously it's been impacted by the flood. You can see, just so everybody feels comfortable with it, one of the pieces of steel. That was actually set there. We were looking to place that Monday of this week on the bridge, so that's going to hold that off for a little bit. Looking ahead, next few weeks is really going to be getting somebody in to do an assessment on the bridge. Once we have an assessment, we'll know what is good and what is not, and then we'll go from there. Where we're standing right now is down on Riverwalk by Fort Calgary. There's two pieces I draw your attention to. First is the hard landscaping. It stood up really, really well. Obviously the pathway's still there, people can cut through, but the soft landscaping, not so much. We expected if we got high water, as with any kind of high water, you're going to see some land move around. Obviously we had significant move around. This will not take us a long time to bring back online. This is landscaping. Compared to what other people are dealing with in Calgary, this is not that much. Where I'm standing right now, down is on Riverwalk Plaza. Over the left-hand side is the Bow River, on the right-hand side is the old Simmons Mattress Factory. You know, a lot of the work that we did here down on Riverwalk was to actually protect East Village from a flood. And the great news is it worked really well. But I just want to point one thing out. Historically, the highest that we knew that the river would get is this level right here. We went a lot higher this time. We were actually up to here. Good news is the infrastructure worked. It did hold back the river, and we didn't see the level of flooding in East Village that we could have seen. Over my left-hand shoulder is the East Village Experience Center. It in itself actually didn't see water up to its doors. One of the things that has gone into the development of East Village and the thinking of East Village is the buildings. And I'd say this is an example, because this is a building that's built above the 100-year floodplain. And many of the structures that you'll see in East Village are actually built up a little bit, and so they won't be impacted as heavily as some of our older buildings by this type of flood. Over my left-hand shoulder is Fram's first development. It's one of the projects down in East Village that was well on its way. Just broke ground this year. What they've been working on over the last bit is the shoring. Coming up very quickly, they were going to start the excavation and actually moving the dirt. So they haven't been impacted like other sites, really, because they don't have a large hole that would be filled with excess water. Just over my shoulder here is BOSA's Development Evolution. They saw a significant amount of water over the last week, but they've been pumping pretty hard over the last few days to the point where they got it down a whole story. Talking to them, they're not far off in terms of getting it down farther. Their shoring systems held up really, really well. They're very happy with how the site's performed, and they think they're going to be able to get back on track fairly quickly. Where we're standing right now is on the corner of 8th Avenue and 5th Street. Behind me on both my left and right are a couple of towers that are home to a number of East Village residents. Those residents have been displaced, and we're working with different improvements. And one of the key messages, if we can get it out to them, is, you know, we know this is your community and we want to get you back here as soon as we can.